Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into a feeling that is just so human. Homesickness. You know, that deep, sometimes achy feeling of longing that pretty much all of us have felt at some point. We're going to break down what it is and what it really means to find that sense of belonging. I mean, really think about that for a second. That weird feeling of being adrift, like you're not quite where you're supposed to be, even if you're in a city you know well or a room full of people. What is that all about?
Well, that feeling of being lost, it's often pointing to something much deeper. It's this universal longing for what's familiar, for comfort, for a place we call home. And to really get into this, we're going to follow a story.
So, our story is all about this young girl named Leia, and she doesn't have fancy canvases or anything. She just uses what she can find, scraps of wood, maybe a broken tile. But here's the thing, she has this incredible secret gift. When she paints with real emotion, her creations, they can actually flicker to life, just for a moment.
So picture this. She's stuck in this town where it has been raining for 3 days straight, and she paints the one thing she is desperate to see. And as she does, the actual sky above her seems to tremble, and a little sliver of sunlight breaks through. She's literally painting her longing into existence.
You know, this feeling Leia has, it actually has a name. In fact, we have a whole language we use to talk about these really powerful emotions. So let's break down some of the key terms to get a better handle on what's going on, both in her story and, in our own lives.
Okay, so first up, the big one, being homesick. It's that sadness, right? That feeling of being a little bit down that comes from being separated from the people and the places that keep you grounded. You miss your home, you miss your family, and it creates this genuine emotional ache.
And this quote just nails it. That feeling can be so much stronger during certain times, like the holidays, when you feel the absence of your traditions and your people even more. It's just a profound kind of loneliness.
Now, nostalgia, it's in the same family, but it's different. It's that warm, fuzzy memory of the past. Sure, there can be a little bit of sadness for times that are gone, but it's mostly a good feeling. Like thinking about long summer days from when you were a kid.
So what is it we're actually missing when we feel homesick or nostalgic? Well, we're missing what we call the comforts of home. And I love this concept because it is completely different for every single person.
These are those super specific, personal things that build our idea of home. It could be the smell of your mom's cooking, or the simple routine of reading the paper with your dad. Maybe it's just the sound, or even the silence, of the place where you grew up. These are the comforts you just can't pack in a suitcase.
Okay, so when we're away from all those comforts, we face this huge challenge. We have to adapt. We have to go through what's called a period of adjustment. And this is exactly where Leia's story takes a really difficult turn.
Adjustment is really just that process of finding your feet again. It takes time to feel comfortable in a new place, a new job, a new chapter in your life. And for some people, that adjustment can be incredibly hard, especially when you feel like nobody understands you. And here we see the ultimate challenge. Leia's amazing gift isn't celebrated, it's feared. The town mayor sees her magic and doesn't see wonder, he sees witchcraft. And just like that, she's dragged away and locked in a dark room. Her entire world is turned upside down.
In this moment, she's locked away, all alone, and the best part of her has just become a curse. She has totally hit rock bottom.
It's such a simple term, right? Bummed out. But it captures that deep feeling of sadness and disappointment perfectly. And Leia is way more than just sad. She is completely isolated, with her greatest gift now feeling like a terrible burden. So, how do you get past that feeling? How do we fight off that loneliness and find a real sense of belonging? Well, it turns out there are two pretty different paths you can take. We can basically boil it down to two main strategies. You can actively reach out to change your surroundings and distract yourself, or you can bravely let someone else into your world. So on one hand, you've got the reaching out approach. This is the classic advice a friend might give you, right? Go out, keep busy, hit the club, just distract yourself. It's an external strategy. But then on the other hand, there's letting in. And this is what happens with Leia. A boy named Tomas finds her, but he doesn't see witchcraft, he sees wonder. He brings her bread, and in return, she trusts him enough to show him her magic. That's an internal choice. It's an act of vulnerability. And that one connection, wow, it changes everything.
When Laya has to flee the town, Tomas makes this huge choice. He decides he's going to leave his physical home to go with her. And he asks, what is a home without wonder, without dreams? The point is, home isn't just a building to him anymore. It's a feeling he finds with her.
And this brings us to the biggest lesson of this whole journey. Through everything she goes through and through her friendship with Thomas, Leia's and our own understanding of what home is gets completely turned on its head.
As they're traveling, Laya's magic starts to weaken her, and she gets so worried that if her gift is gone, she'll have nothing left to offer. But listen to what Thomas says to her. Even if the paintings fade, you remain, and you are enough. He completely separates her worth from her special ability. Her value is just her.
And in a final showdown with this greedy king, her magic just fizzles out when she's asked to paint for power and wealth. And in that moment, it all clicks. She finally understands her gift was never meant for vanity or for control. It was meant to create hope, to share kindness, and to express love.
And that is the ultimate takeaway here. The magic, the wonder, the thing that makes us feel connected and at home. It doesn't come from some external place or a special talent. It comes from inside us. It's about the courage to share who we are and to truly connect with other people. So, that leaves us with one last question to think about. If we accept that home is really a feeling of connection, of purpose, of being seen for who we are, then how do we go about building that for ourselves and for others, no matter where we find ourselves in this world?